Hi, thanks for tuning in to Embrace the Madness this week. This is Madeline. Oh, I was thinking of doing like, hey, it's Madeline. I don't know if you guys ever watched Franklin or if that's like just a 90s baby thing, you know what I'm just kidding. Yeah, so thanks for checking in this week. I'm like, yep, checking in this week. I'm here. Yeah, I'm sure as all of you guys can relate, the boredom is for sure setting in and it's real. I mean, I feel like I'm staying busy with a million and one things to do, but I don't know. I think I'm just like in this weird kind of rut right now where, yeah, there's just a lot on my horizon, but it's cool. I'm realizing. But yeah, just I don't know. Like I'm remembering when I was off for like 2 months last year, and it was nice, but I think it was kind of different. That was like a chosen intentional thing. And I mean, maybe I need to embrace this as an intentional I chose this break. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I'm alive. I'm making it. I have toilet paper. I do only have one roll of paper towels though, so oh well, I'll figure it out. I did a really bad job of like prepping for this like cleaning wise, like cuz I like looked under the sink and all my cleaners are on their little last splash and it's okay. But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of in this rut. I'm losing inspiration day by day. And I keep having this kind of battle with myself of like, oh, it's okay, girl, you got this. And then followed by like complete despair and then back. And just, it's just like, oh, it's just getting to be a lot. And so I'm kind of just like, what's happening? What's going on? And I mean, if I know anything to be true, is that I'll come out of it because it happens all the time. And I think that's normal, but it just sucks when you're like in it. But I feel like this one is a little bit deeper. So it kind of gives me a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of hope that this is going to be like kind of like a breakthrough type situation. And I feel like when I can resolve this rut and kind of explore it, then I don't know. I think I'm gonna learn some cool stuff about myself. So I'm trying to stay in that mindset, but it's really hard when you're like stuck in your head all the time. And so, yeah, 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 it's hard. So if you're in the same spot, then I feel you and I'm really sorry and I know that it sucks. But I think that having this kind of serves a purpose. And I think if we can reframe it that way, then it will be a little bit easier to work through. So I'm still journaling every day, which I seriously think is my saving grace because I woke up just like kind of neutral. And I mean, it's kind of gloomy out. It feels nice, but I just I've been going out to the back of my apartment where there's kind of trees to write and have coffee in the mornings. And so it was nice. I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about today. And so I kind of was just like, yo, I'm literally a vessel for your creation. What the heck do I talk about today? Because I mean, I want to talk about relatable things and I want to talk about things that I'm going through. And yeah, so I started journaling And I've only been doing like 3 pages, so it's pretty light. But by the end of my journaling session, I'm like over here smiling. So like it's just really awesome that I can kind of have that little mini transformation because I found inspiration to do my podcast. So that was kind of, I guess, the whole goal. But yeah, I have just felt so exhausted lately and unmotivated and negative and all these horrible, yucky feelings. And I don't hate when I have these experiences, but I don't enjoy it either because, like I'm over here talking about like love and light and positivity. And so it's like hard to go through the ringer emotionally. And I guess I've learned over, I don't know, time, my life, whatever, that it's like way more fun to be bubbly and full of joy and laughing and kind. And so it's just weird that me having that knowledge is like choosing to be in this yucky. And I do say choosing because as much as we hate to admit it, we choose where our attention goes. And so I don't know if it just like hasn't gotten to my brain or I know and I just don't care, but I am choosing this yucky pair of glasses. And like it sucks to know that I'm making that choice. So I think that's kind of like an underlying thing for me too. Just it's just like why am I choosing this lens? And I think it's like totally because it's comfortable and because it's so much easier to bitch about something than it is to find a solution. And it garners attention and people feel sorry for you. And I mean, I think I'm like taking it a little far, but it just doesn't make me feel good. And so it's kind of like bled into my life these past couple of weeks. And last week I talked about being gentle with yourself, and it's like I can be, but then also sometimes I can't, or like I'm just not. Not that I can't, but yeah, it's just really interesting to think about. So I've just been thinking about that and thinking about why I would feel this way. And yeah, I just been really irritable and I don't think that I'm depressed because I still have, the energy to cook for myself and clean and take showers. And I'm not saying that it's not high functioning, but I just try not to over identify too much with these things. And so maybe that's the denial that I'm having depression. I don't know. I don't know. I've experienced it before and I know that I'm not there. So I know this is just different. I think it's more of like, I mean, I guess depression's a spiritual thing too, but I don't know. There's something different. But I feel like what's different now is that I have more of like a curious willingness to understand and seek out a solution than I was before. So I don't know. I'm just chilling. But I don't even remember what I was talking. Oh, about being tired and yucky and exhausted. So yeah, I just, and it's probably because I'm an extrovert and being inside and not talking to anyone is weird. And it's like have learned to love my alone time, but there's some expression that's not being met. And like, I don't know if it's just going out and dancing or going out. I don't know. It's just, there's something weird. And so I have to remember too, not to take all of these like yucky feelings too personally, because I feel like all over the globe that our little human bodies are all vibrating with this little bit of like fear and uncertainty. And so I have to remind myself that it's natural to feel kind of that effect of feeling everybody else's feelings. Because I just feel, I feel like I'm just a very intuitive person. And I think it's also a lesson in like setting my boundaries, but it's really easy for me to absorb other people's feelings. And so I think that's been kind of a lesson too over these past few weeks, is to remember to stay grounded and remember that you have control over your emotions. And remembering doesn't always mean that it's going to happen. And so I think I'm just in this phase of constantly kind of making mistakes, feeling like I'm retracting in terms of my growth. And so it's just like a weird, uncomfortable, icky feeling. It's just weird. It's weird knowing that you've made progress, but you're still sometimes prone to falling on your face. And I guess that's just part of the human experience, is to just fall on your face so many times that it doesn't hurt anymore, or create new ideas where you fall in a ball pit or throw a lot of pillows down there. But the falling on the face is not fun. So, me being in this weird mental space, well, yeah, of course, has been fucking weird. But I kind of am chalking it up to forgetting my why. And my why is well, why did you start doing this? And since I've kind of learned to live with intention and live wholeheartedly, I had my why, especially for my podcast. I like my mission statement and stuff like that, but I feel like that there's an underlying why that is kind of like uh dictating our purpose and dictating our intentions and dictating, yeah, exactly why. And so I think that forgetting that why totally can lead to depression. Why am I here? Why am I choosing to embark on this journey? Why am I trying to learn to express myself? Why am I wearing these clothes? I don't know, just like this why to me creates purpose and meaning, and yeah. And so if I think about it, my why is sharing my love and light with everybody around me. And I think that that's like why I incarnated as a human and stuff like that. But yeah, I just feel like I have forgotten that. I've forgotten that I am not just a human. I am not this body on earth. Like, that's not who I am at my core. And these problems and these fears and all these things they're not defining who I am at all. And yeah, lately I've just been feeling like it does define me. And I've been feeling like this human life is just like, ugh, like hard and yucky and stupid. And what the heck? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to go through this? Why do I have to experience this? Which I'm listening to kind of sounds entitled, but I mean, these are my feelings. And it's just weird because I feel like it's like I understand all of these things that I'm saying on one level, but then on another level, I don't understand. And I guess it's like my higher self and my regular self, but I don't know. And it's like really, really weird when you realize like this isn't who you were. Like I started this podcast like 6 months ago, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I know I was at a different place in my life, but it's just weird. It's okay. It's just weird. So I think I've just been over identifying in lack of progress, and I was going to say lack of growth, but I don't think you're not growing ever. But yeah. And so I think that this whole over identifying with all of these human experiences is leading me to this kind of like, what the fuck? And I have to remember that I am magical and that I am full of love and abundance, as are you and everyone around us. And that I am forgetting my power and my beauty. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in these human things. Like, it's so easy. Like, I feel like I'm like walking in mud and I'm like, when did it get muddy? And I've just been that clueless. So it's just like really aggravating. But, anyways. And it's like, I mean, why wouldn't you over identify with your human body? It's like, this is our experience. This is like real and tangible for us. But I just keep going back to the fact that I have to remember that. And I have to remember like that okay, so last night was my friends Amy and Brian's birthday, and so we were FaceTiming, and Amy was reminding me that we chose this experience and we chose to be here right now and we chose to be on this earth. And so, yeah, it just clicked and it kind of made some sense. And we are so far off from where we started. And this is like unusual to us. And we don't remember that we were some like big, awesome, cool energy party. And we're over here on Earth trying to fit in this box that society has created for us so that we can be accepted and liked and approved of and validated by everybody around us. Or this idea, I don't like, it's so weird to me. It's so weird that this is our existence. It's just weird to think that like greed and separation and all these things are part of our evolution. And I mean, I guess it would make sense. I mean, obviously lower vibrating things, but sometimes I don't think I had the capacity to understand. So I think that's why I always just like get lost in that, like, what? But yeah, and I've talked about it before, so I probably just need to go back and like listen to all the stuff that I talked about. But there's nothing that we have to fit into. And there's no mold that we have to fill. And there's no expectations that we have to meet. And that's plain and simple. Maybe not that simple, but yeah, we're whole and we are one. And so that's our like main thing. And so I have to remind myself that it's easy to get distracted and it's easy to forget because we've got so much stupid shit to worry about, like taxes, stimulus checks, poor strips, paper towels, whatever. We're over here worrying about this stuff. And yeah, my friend Amy's words just, the more I think about it, the more I have to remember that. And I've been missing my friend so much. But yeah, if that's not true, then I don't know what is. And I started this podcast to share that with others. And I started it to remind everyone of their true nature and their true beauty, their true selves. And the more I think about it, the more I realize, like, no, I cannot let being a human distract me from these things. Like, if I came here to do a job, then I have to do a job. And that's totally like working against everything human Madeline says, because Madeline's like, don't finish anything, just start something new. So, like, as hard and as yucky as it may be, I have to embrace this and remember that I can't just like discard my mission. And nobody will be able to share the same message that I will. And so it's important that I share my experience and share my perspective and add a little madness to the world, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think there's hope. I have to remember, as does everyone else in the whole world, that our mission is not in vain. And we came here for a reason. And we intentionally chose this point in time to exist. And so that's what I've got to work with. And if I am love in its purest form, then heck yeah, I just want to scream it to the rooftops and remind everyone. And I mean, I'm sure in a way it validates me and my truth. And so I can see like where your ego would get lost. And I think that's probably where I'm at. Just letting kind of the doubts and fears of others bleed into my life. And that's okay. I think I'm learning a lot for sure. I obviously wouldn't like want to do this again or like choose it, but I mean, I guess in a way I did. Things might be bleak, but they're not going to be bleak, bleak, bleak. They're not going to be bleak forever. And I think that's something that I could stand to practice more. Like, I understand cycles. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's just, this is hard. It's hard knowing that this is part of the cycle and the journey. And I think if anything, now I'm learning that I need to be able to like forecast, I guess, this and kind of be able to build up my defenses before it gets really bad. But yeah, we're learning. I have to remember, like, this is like a necessary part. Like, I wouldn't be learning these truths if I didn't experience this experience. And I just mean this experience being just like in a low spot, you know. But yeah, we are here to spread our love and our individuality and our creative expression. And we are doing that as a big fat thank you to the universe for giving us this opportunity to exist and live and love and all those cool things. What is it? Live, laugh, love. Yeah. So, yeah, having hope I think is really important, and hoping for better times, more energy, hoping that it will be okay soon. And it's like I know it will. It's just, ugh. Maybe it's like the Pisces in me just like, oh, I'm sad and depressed. I don't know. So, let's see. What are some tangible ways that I can rise above this? I think, for one, I'm sure everybody is like on this page too. Like, I've had this active desire to get on fucking Facebook all the time or social media. I think it's just this big time of uncertainty, and so everyone's like, well, what are they doing? Well, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Why am I not doing that? Blah 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 blah. And so I just need to get off. I just need to get off social media. There's so many opinions and there's so many just like hateful things still. I just know that I'm very sensitive to like falling victim to the lower vibrations. And so I think I just need to get off. And I think if I like, and if not get off, at least just turn my focus to my social media pages for my podcast and my music. Because I think that would be good. I mean, that would be content creation versus like fucking scrolling through so and so's feed. But it's okay. That's another like one of my whys too. I wanted to kind of transform social media, or this idea that it's bad inherently. But I guess I would have to add content in order to change that or dispel that myth, you know? So there's a little epiphany. I think another thing that would benefit me is to just kind of remember my why and rediscover that and even elaborate if I need to. And most definitely I could put a lot more energy into this podcast. I think it's been easy for me to kind of fall off because it's not like podcast of the year, and I'm not saying that it deserves that, but I think just like the lack, and it could be maybe because I need to initiate more, but I think it's just like there's only some dialogue being said, and I think that kind of self-improvement and development is, I guess, not something that everybody's like gung-ho about. And I know that it's scary. To me, it's scarier being in a yucky situation. So I know everybody's different though. I think something else I can do is be more gentle. And I know I talked about it last week, but I just think really, really, really holding space and compassion for all parts of my experience, even the yucky. And I've just been really, really hard on myself in terms of like the quality of my art. And I think I have to remember that if I'm putting myself into it, then it's already quality. And just because it doesn't match someone's like present level of expertise doesn't mean it's like bad. So I think that will take forever for me to realize, but I can start reminding myself now. And then, even more importantly, Amy said this to me last night, well, to all of us, our friends, that because we chose this, like, we can't stop and we have to keep shining, even when it's yucky, even when it's muddy. And we have to keep being that beacon of light because that's what we're here to do. We're here to be that beacon, and we're here to remind others of their purpose and others to express themselves. And so I'm going to keep shining even though it's freaking hard. Freaking hard. Which, I mean, I don't think it will be a big deal. I mean, I say that, but but yeah, I think as long as I continue expressing myself, I'm doing great. I've been posting this every week. I mean, it's Thursday, but it's okay. Yeah. So if you're feeling exhausted, you're not alone, I promise. At all. I think that this next couple weeks will be a good time for me to reevaluate things and, yeah, reevaluate my purpose and my why and see what I'm doing to manifest those things. And hopefully, I mean, I know it's gonna happen, get on the right track too. I think it's just, yeah, I'm just going through a transition period in my life. And so I'm just figuring out what works with my new environment: mental, physical, spiritual, financial, Um, I could lie and tell you that we're going to talk about something specific next week, but I'm not going to because I think that it's nice to be divinely inspired to talk about things. So I will see what I am experiencing this week, and I'll talk about whatever comes to my mind next week. So seriously, thank you very, very, very much for listening. I really, really, really appreciate it, and we wouldn't be able to have this dialogue if it weren't for you, and it would be just me talking to a wall. So yeah, thank you very, very, very much. And if you are interested in getting on Instagram to see my little posties, the tag is at Embrace the Madness podcast. And yeah, so I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay strong. Don't go too crazy. Love yourself. This is Madeline, and I will see you later. Bye. Thanks again for tuning into this week's episode of Embrace the Madness. Don't forget to subscribe so you can learn to live your best life.